Hello, welcome to Parade of Paws. I'm Officer Thomas Anderson of the Casa Grande Police Department, and joining me today is Kennel Assistant Julie Tiemann of the Animal Care and Adoption Center here in Casa Grande. Julie, could you begin by telling us where we're located at and what your goal here at the center is?
Sure. We are located at 202 East 1st Avenue. Just take Florence Street South, cross the tracks, and take a left on 1st Avenue and go down approximately a block, and we are on the left-hand side. And our goal here, Thomas, is to help animals and humans coexist by providing animal care and adoption services for the community.
Excellent. So today, I believe we're going to be viewing a few cats and several dogs. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, well, let's get started.
Okay, our first cat is TJ. He's a domestic short-hair orange tiger stripe. He's a male neutered. He's 6 years old, and also TJ is front declawed. He came in with his sister, but they can be adopted separately or together. Sometimes when they get into close quarters, they don't seem to like each other a whole lot, so it might be better if they had separate homes, but if you got a big old house, they would probably be fine together also.
And you said TJ is front declawed.
Yes.
Are all the cats here declawed or no?
No, they are not. We do get a few in that have their claws removed. We don't do that here. We just get a few in that have them. So if you have a want for kitties that don't have their front claws, and we do have a cat or two that has all four declawed. But
Okay.
It's not something that we do.
All right.
Okay? And this is TJ.
So what are the other ways that our viewers can view adoptable pets other than just watching here on Channel 11?
Well, you can view the animals on the city website. You can go on petfinder.com, and you also can watch them on Cox Channel 11, where you see this show.
Excellent.
Okay.
Our next cat?
Our next cat is Isabella. Isabella is a domestic, long hair, gray and black tiger stripe. She is a female spayed. She's 5 years old. She's front declawed, and her adoption fee is only $10. And also, I forgot to say on TJ, his is also only $10. But they are all ready to go. Happy kitties.
You mentioned Pet Finder as we wait for our next cat to come out. Can you tell us a little bit about Pet Finder, please?
Pet Finder is a website where facilities like ours or rescues can post animal pictures, locations, and adoption fees so that people can go on and look for the animal that they're looking for and see many different animals and call to set up an appointment to see the animal.
Great. So our next cat?
Our next cat would be Snowman. He is a domestic long hair. He's all white. He's a male neutered. He's 2 years old. He also is front declawed.
Good catch. Very fitting name, Snowman.
Yes, he's a little scared of what's going on, but he's a good kitty. Loves attention. Just right now, he's never been in this room, and he's a little scared. But he's a good boy. And again, he's also declawed.
Right.
Okay?
I think we're about to move into our dogs. As we do, can you tell us a little bit about our spay and neutering program here?
Sure. We do have a low-cost spay and neuter clinic. We do offer low-cost spay and neuter help to individuals that are citizens of our city. The price of the adoption always includes rabies vaccination, 4-way shot on cats. Microchip is $20 extra, but everything else is included in the adoption fee. The shots, the rabies, the license, everything is included. We do have a few kittens we're going to show.
Okay.
If that's okay?
Sure.
Hi, babies. And right now we do have a whole lot of little kittens in the shelter. Maybe I can take some of these out of the basket. Our kittens have to reach a certain size before we can have them spayed or neutered. Usually they have to be at least 2 pounds, but we usually can get them there within a couple of weeks. So if someone wants to come in and adopt a kitten, pick one out, we'll get them in as quickly as we can. We'll hold them and then we'll get them spayed or neutered when they're ready. And that way people can get, a lot of people like to have baby kittens.
Sure.
We don't have names for these guys, unfortunately, because they haven't been here long enough, and we usually don't name them until we get them growed up a little bit and ready to go. But we have a lot of kittens here right now.
So you can literally come down here and get a basket full of kittens if you like.
Yes, you could. Okay, I think now we are ready for the dogs.
Okay. As we wait for them, can you tell us a little bit about the process of adopting pets?
Well, the best process is to call, make an appointment at our 426-9300. It is a answering service, so leave a message and one of our officers will be happy to call you back. Come in, look through the kennel, see if there's an animal that fits your wants or your needs, and we can get them out in the play yard. If you have another animal, you can bring it with, and we can do a meet and greet to see if your animals get along. We'll check out what type of situation you have at home and see if it's a good fit for you, and then we fill out the paperwork, pay the adoption fee, then we schedule them for a spay or neuter. Typically they can go home the day after the spay or neuter, and then you would be back to pick them up that next day.
Okay, now I know some of our animals, or some of the most of the animals here have a name already.
Right.
Do they have to keep that name? If someone wants to change the name, is that a big deal?
No, it's not a big deal. A lot of the animals here have only had their names for a very short time, so you can pick just about any name you like and change the name. It might take them a little while to get used to it, but it's not a big deal.
All right. Okay. So we're ready for our first dog, I believe?
Yes, and our first dog is Hannah. Hannah's a Beagle. She's tri-colored. She's about 1.5 years old, and she is a female, and she is just a happy girl. She seems pretty good on the housebreaking. She may need a little bit of refresher course on that, but she is just a happy, friendly little girl. Well, not too little. She could stand to lose just a little bit of weight. All right, our next dog is Morris. He's a little bitty Chihuahua mix. He's brown and white, as you can see, very tiny. He's only about 10 weeks old, so he's a baby. And by he, I mean a male. He is not neutered yet, but we would be happy to get him neutered for anyone who would be interested in adopting this little guy. Oh, he's a little scared right now. It's all right, buddy. And our next dog is Monkey. Monkey is one of my special dogs here. I love this little guy. He came in just a mess. He was very, very long-haired, very matted. He had some sores on him, but we cleaned him up, shaved him up, and in fact, when he came in, we couldn't even get him to stand up. I don't know if it was the mats, because when dogs get mats, it pulls on there, and it hurts to move. So when we got that all cleaned off, he started running around and being a happy little guy. He's a Yorkshire Terrier mix, we think, and he's an older boy. He's 8 years old, but he's still got a lot to give. He's a very happy boy. He's already neutered, so he would be very easy to get ready to go. All we would have to do is get him a rabies shot, and he would be set to go to someone's home.
All right.
Okay. Our next dog is Ebony. She is a Labrador Retriever. She is black. She is about 1 year old. I don't know if she'll do it for us right now, but she is a smiler. She does like to smile at you. She is a major ball player, loves to play ball, loves the water, but she's pretty young, could use some training. And her brother, well, we call it her brother because they came in together, is a chocolate lab, and his name is Rusty, and he's a pretty good sized boy, but he's very friendly, very happy, doesn't like not to be with people. Mm-hmm. We have him at about 2.5 years old. He's a male.
So you mentioned different ways that animals come into the care center. Can you talk to us a little bit about the drop-off boxes?
Sure. We do have some drop-off boxes that are located behind our building here. What we ask is that you bring in, if you find a stray animal, you bring them in and place them in one of the kennels, lock the kennel, and there are little papers in a plastic bag and hung on the kennel door. Please fill out where you found the dog, what time you found the dog, your name, telephone number if we have any more questions. The more information we have, the more chance we have of getting them back to their original owner. So please don't be afraid to fill out the information and write as much as you know so that we have a better chance to find their owners.
Okay. Thank
Okay?
you.
And our next dog is Dalton. This is Dalton. He is an 8-month-old brown Chihuahua. And I'm sure it's a mix. Typically we like to say mix even if we think it's a full-blooded Chihuahua, just because there can be so many mixes and there's so many Chihuahuas out there. And he is just a friendly little guy. He's shy at first, but here at the shelter he's not shy anymore. Mm-hmm. And this little one is Dante. This is a Dachshund mix. We think that he's about 10 weeks old. Now, as you can see, he's black and brown. Just a happy little guy. And something that I should mention is from today until June 30th, I believe today is the 17th, correct? Until June 30th, all of our dogs are $50 to adopt.
Okay.
Okay?
A little bit of a sale, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about leashes. How important is it to leash or train your dog on a leash?
It is very important. We get a lot of animals in that have never had a leash on. It's very apparent. You put a leash on, they either drop to the ground and cry or they won't move. It's so important because, for one, we have a leash law in Casa Grande that you shouldn't have your pets out and about without a leash on. Two, if you need to bring them to the vet, it's much easier if you can put a leash on them. And if for some reason you were to ever have to give up your dog, it would be much easier to find a home for them if they know how to walk on a leash.
Sure. Okay. So our next dog?
Our next dog is Flight. Flight also is a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Flight is, as you can see, gray. He's male neutered. He's about 5 months old. So he's a little young, but not puppy. He's a pretty happy little guy. I gave him the name Flight because his big old ears, and I thought it was fitting.
It's not because he likes to run away.
No.
Okay. All right.
No, I didn't think about that.
He's not a flight risk.
No,
All right.
no. He's just a good little boy. Needs a home.
One more question about the leashes that you were talking about. If someone has plans on adopting and they've made the entire transaction or gone through the process of adoption, should they show up with a leash at the center here, or do you provide a leash, or what do you provide, if anything?
Well, we do provide a leash, a slip leash. We do have other leashes at the shelter that we'll be happy to send home with the dog. But if you've already picked the dog and already adopted it and you wish to purchase a leash and a collar, that's perfectly okay too. But we will make sure that they have a leash to go home with so that they're not trying to control the dog without a leash.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, our next dog is Chumlee. Chumlee is a Silky Terrier mix. He's a happy little boy. This little guy can run your legs off. He's tan, gray. He's about 3.5 years old. And a little dog like this can live 15, 18 years if he's taken care of well. So 3.5 years old is not much for a little guy like this.
All right.
And our next dog is Giggles. Come here, Giggles. Giggles is a very happy dog. He loves to play, loves attention. He's a border collie mix. And as you can see, he's white and black. He's about 3.5 years old. Also could stand to lose a little bit of weight, but I think if he got a home where he got some exercise walking or running with someone, I think that would come off real easy.
So how should you prepare your home, Julie, if you're going to be bringing home a cat or a dog? Are there differences for their cat or a dog? But
Well, the best thing to do to prepare your home is to have a safe place for them. Maybe a little bit, maybe start with one room rather than the entire house. Sometimes when you bring them home and you just put them in the house and they can run wild, they'll get into a little bit of trouble chewing things up, accidents in the house, because their world here at the shelter is just the play yard a couple times a day and their little kennel. So if you make it too big, sometimes they're not quite sure how to react to that. So maybe making the laundry room, or use some baby gates and just section off the house so that they don't have too much to get into at first. Cats usually start with one room so that it's not overwhelming to them, and work bigger. Keep all they need, food, water, and litter box in one room, and then as they get more comfortable, expand it and let them into the rest of the house.
okay, thank
Okay?
you. Yes. So we have some more dogs, I believe.
Yes, we do have a Queensland named Rawhide. He is, as I said, a Queensland. A red merle is what we're calling him. He's a male, and he's 2 years old. He's a little shy at first, but he's become one of our best friends here. He loves to go outside and play. He loves attention. He would be great for herding. He'd be great on the farm. He'd be great in the house as long as people were willing to walk him and give him the exercise. And what we have left is a basket of puppies, like our basket of kitties.
All right.
Now these puppies are about 8 weeks old. They are pretty close to big enough to be spayed or neutered.
I'm going to help you with this.
Thank you.
Sure.
And we got them in, they're one litter, so they're all brothers and sisters. I don't know how many girls or boys we have here, but puppies also are $50. They can come in and see the puppies and pick out a puppy, and we'll get them in as soon as they're ready to be spayed or neutered. You would have to get them a few more shots later on, because puppies, we give them their first or second, as long as they're here, puppy shots, but sometimes they will need some more puppy shots, but they will have rabies, and if they don't have rabies, we will get that when they're old enough to get that. You'll just bring them back and we'll get them their rabies shot when they're due to have it.
And this isn't necessarily a package deal. You can get 1, 2.
Yep, you can get 1, 2, or 3, or you can get 10 if you like.
Julie, are there any upcoming events here at the Adoption Center?
Yes, on July 20th, Saturday from 8 to 10 at Gilbert Park, which is 1140 Trinity Place, we have a low-cost rabies and license and vaccination clinic.
Is that 8 to 10 in the morning?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we've seen quite a few cats and many more dogs today. Thank you very much for all those, and we definitely hope that folks are looking for adoptions and interested in adopting some of our animals. Could you tell us a little bit about what you'd like to share with the public about animal care and adoption?
Sure. The biggest issue I would like to hit is the heat that we have upon us now. We have had a lot of health and welfare calls already this year, and ones that had we not gone out, the animals may not have survived. Heat stroke, heat stress is a very big issue with animals here in Arizona. And sometimes people coming from different states and different areas, they don't understand how intense the heat is here. And it's kind of like the same situation with your children. Think of it that way. If you wouldn't put your child out in the yard to play because it's too hot for your dog. If you wouldn't walk your child out with bare feet, it's too hot for the dog's feet. They will blister. They'll peel. You have to think about all of that in Arizona. Walk your dog early in the morning or late at night. In the middle of the day, if you walk your dog on pavement or concrete, very, very good chance their feet will blister and burn, and they could deal with some sort of heat stress or extreme stress. A dog who gets way overheated and hits heat stroke, they can just fall over, and within a very short amount of time, they can be deceased. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to what you're doing with your animals in the heat. Most of all, making sure they have plenty of water, watering down your yard, making sure that they have plenty of shade. The best scenario, of course, is if you have a place inside where it's cool to get them inside. But if that's not possible, make sure whatever situation you're leaving them in, they can get out of the sun and get cool.
Julie, could you tell us one more time, how can people find you? What's the address and what's the phone number if they'd like to get in contact with you here at the center?
Sure. Our address here is 202 East 1st Avenue. Our phone number is 426-9300, and that is an answering service, so please listen to the message and leave a message, and one of our officers or volunteers will be happy to return your call. So you just take Florence Street South across the tracks, take a left on 1st Avenue, and we're down about a block on the left-hand side.
All right, folks, don't forget to check us out on our website, our city website, www.casagrandeaz.gov. Pet Finder, of course, and you can obviously watch here on Channel 11 and tell your friends about it here on Channel 11. That's it for Parade of Paws this month. We thank you for watching. We hope to see you next time.